to them really. It used to be the case because now I can find out
Oh, that's a good thing. That Kilner.
Welcome to another episode of Toby's Stupid Vlog.
Right, ready? Happy birthday.
No, I don't need more.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Walter. Happy birthday to you.
Come into queue. I've got to go to work later on. This is the queue wedding golf buggy. Take the bride and groom on. So we went and had a sit in the cottage. Saw it. Crystal saw it for the first time since the wedding. Had a little wander around in the sun. Then we went to Pizza Express for lunch because I'm working this evening. I don't know when I might actually eat again. And that's where I'm going right now, to the station. Head off into town to do the engineering for the Canadian Grand Prix, which is on later. Good morning. Welcome to Parsons Green, Fulham area. I am delivering iPads to the Hurlingham Club. Or at least that's the plan. I've currently got a polo in the park malarkey going on in their park, so I just have to find a pedestrian entrance somewhere. And yeah, that's my weird job for today. Deliver iPads, pick up iPads, and do the same again this afternoon. So this is the Hurlingham Club, which is where I've been delivering iPads, and where I'm now walking from. I'm going to go back to Hammersmith and drop off some radio mics from yesterday. Such is my rock and roll life today, of just sort of wandering around and handing people stuff. So there we go. If you don't know what the Hurlingham Club is, it's a very large private members club with grounds and does all sorts of sporting events and posh conferencey kind of things, but you generally can't get in here unless your company's booked to be here in an event, because membership is a little bit pricey, but it's a very, very large space of land, borders the north side of the Thames, and huge grounds. Some of the tennis courts and the fake river. Some more tennis courts. I'm still not out of the grounds. There's a lot of exotic ducks, if you're into that kind of thing. And black swans and all sorts. Oh look, finally, here's the exit. We're just sort of near Putney Bridge on this side, and on the other side, well, sort of Fulham, well, Putney Bridge, Fulham, Parsons Green, that kind of area. So I figure I might as well walk to Hammersmith. It's not too far. It's a bit of a Thames path I don't get to do very often, and it's good exercise. Wake me up a little bit. There we go, that is Putney Road Bridge, and that's Putney Rail Bridge, and that's a very, very low Thames. Tide's still going out as well, I think. You can see the mud flats. Yeah, well, it's not the nicest day ever, certainly not compared to yesterday, but still better than sitting indoors, because I've just managed to, the last few weeks and months sitting down a lot. I think I've basically trapped a nerve in my leg, so it needs to be loosened up. So we're going to do some more strolling. You might think I go walking constantly, but I don't actually. It's just I only ever film when I'm walking. Most of the time I am quite sedentary, and that is a bit of a problem, which I'm now attempting to rectify. That's quite a remarkable feat, Cat. Anyway, aside from the crazy cat is walking, frankly, a tightrope with obstacles. Look how empty the Thames is. It looks like someone sucked all the water out. It's just left with rock pools and massive dunes, frankly, of rocks and things. You can see Hammersmith Bridge in the distance, which is where I'm heading. So what else can we see here, other than not much water? That, in the middle of the picture, is the old Harrods furniture depository. It is. and then someone had called me, and that kind of cut off my phone. So yes, look, I'm in Hammersmith. That was easy, wasn't it? Black swans again, baby black swans no less. Very exciting. The exotic ducks are still asleep. So this is the National Restaurant Awards, which is the evening do. You can see all the food trucks around. Outdoors at the Hurlingham Club. It looks and smells fantastic. I'm having a veggie day, which kind of means that I'm just going to have to wait till I get home. I'm supposed to be having a sweet potato curry, which would be nice. So now the sun's come out, I thought I'd sit outside. Some interesting statistics about the Hurlingham Club. I think it's about 150 years old. It has 10,000 members, and the membership list is now closed because it's 13 years long, so they're not taking anyone else. Which is fair enough, because you couldn't get 10,000 people in here if you wanted, let alone 13 years worth of new members. It's very nice. This is one of the bowling greens, as you might imagine. And that's where the food trucks and the awards drinks reception is happening, over there under the trees. I'm running out of battery, so I better be brief, but that is the Thames right here. So the Hurlingham Club essentially has its own Thames path, and this is why the Thames path itself, the public trail, is diverted around the club, because we're right on the waterfront here. So I'm doing the bit of the Thames path that I couldn't otherwise do. So Steve, if you're watching this, sorry, you'll have to break into the Hurlingham Club some point to do this bit of the path. Charge my phone a bit. I'm going to do another little lap whilst they sign in the last few people, and then I'm going to pick up the iPads, get on a couple of trains and go home. It's very nice here. Maybe I'll get to come back some other excellent excuse. Play some croquet like they are on the lawns, bowls. So there's a circular path that goes all around the boundary, and that's what eventually turns into the Thames path. The other exciting thing about the little Thames pathy bit that they've nicked is that over here you can actually go out and look at the Thames, which is pretty nice, isn't it? A couple of benches and a viewing spot. Come and have a look at the river and the boats and all the driftwood floating out. Here we go again. I'm definitely leaving now properly. Just had to listen to the mindless, moronic drivel of a pseudo-intellectual security guard who thinks he knew... Well, he thought he knew everything, frankly, but mostly he wanted to discuss race, evolution, God and eugenics. I couldn't have wanted to punch him more, but being a security guard, I decided not to punch him. Not least because I was working. But now I'm going home, because that is going to be much more fun. So for the first time today, pretty much, it's clouded over, but it's still very, very warm. I've been at home. I thought I was going to do some editing work, but actually all I've done is admin. I've done invoicing and accounting, which is yawn-tastic. But I'm going to go out this afternoon. I'm going to go into the gardens. I'm going to take my laptop and do a bit of video work and make the most of what is most likely the warmest day of the year so far. It's proper shorts weather, which is really nice. I've been non-stop today. It's crazy. It's nearly 4 o'clock and I've only just gone out to sit in the gardens. It's amazing. You think, oh, I've got a day to myself, do whatever I like, and you don't. You do all the things that you've been putting off actually for weeks and months. Well, here we are. So I've got to find a little spot that's slightly shaded to do a little bit of work. Try not to get sunburned. Don't laugh. I will. And do do some reading for my board meeting on Monday. So there was a pagoda here, honest. Seems to have gone missing slightly. It's very strange seeing it all clad. I presume that means that next time we'll actually see it, it'll be finished, if you see what I mean. When the actual covers come off, it'll be back to its original paintwork in green and with dragons and stuff, which is, to me at least, very exciting. Well, there it is, the tower of plastic. You can see the guide ropes actually. They're holding up all the scaffolding and what have you. I've just been sitting on that bench there for the last 2 hours doing some work. It's been very constructive. I've finished one thing, I've started another. I still have a lot of board papers to read. I'm going to attempt to take a slightly more scenic route back without getting watered. And I'm planning to take some photos. I've actually put film in my old film camera, but the battery is gone, and the battery tells you what the exposure length is, which means you don't know whether you've set your aperture right, which is a bit annoying, so I'm having to do this slightly blind, but we'll see how they come out. I'm considering taking only that camera to Switzerland this year, and yes, I am going to Switzerland this year. Just me. Crystal unfortunately can't go because she doesn't have enough days holiday, and I wasn't going to go, but I've been encouraged to, and therefore I am, and I have to go straight from there, Switzerland that is. I have to get to Geneva and then fly to Norwich via Amsterdam so that I can go to Del Stag Do. It's all a bit bonkers, if I'm honest, but you know, nothing like a challenge. Anyhow, much as it's very nice here and I could stay here for another couple of hours very happily, I have to get home because I have to put the jerk pork on. It's going to need at least an hour or so, and yeah, otherwise it's going to be tough. So it needs a bit of slow cooking because it's a shoulder. So that's my next order of business, but I'm finding the longest possible way of leaving the gardens. Good morning, it is Friday morning. I have spent yesterday at USP doing lots of bits and bobs and what have you, and coming to terms with some, how can I put this, proposals and whatnot, but anyway, I'll fill you in more on that at some other point, not this week. And today I am filming in Wimbledon, but I'm not doing that until this afternoon. That's actually where I was last night as well, confusingly. So this morning I've got board papers to read, going into the gardens. I'm going to grab some breakfast, head over there, sit down, enjoy the morning, and then head off to Vauxhall first of all to pick up all the kit and give Neil back all his iPads that I was using on Monday, and then go and film a French play. Perfectly normal Friday. One more thing that's worth noting for the historical record more than anything is it is now a week since we had the election day, or as I like to call it, Night of 1,000 Idiots, and we still don't have a government. Yay! What was supposed to be a very, very simple confidence and supply deal between the Conservative Party and the DUP has rather dragged on a bit. And as yet, still no details about what the nature of the deal is. So, Queen's speech, don't know when that's going to happen. They said Monday, but I don't think that's actually going to happen now. And in the meantime, obviously, there's been this terrible fire at a block of flats in Kensington, which has just proven the inadequacy of this government that hasn't yet formed, but the incumbent government, let's say, at dealing with more than one thing at once. The very nature of government is you have to do 1,000 things at once, and when you're, say, using, I don't know, most of your resources trying to negotiate with Europe, it's going to be rather tricky to do things like, I don't know, make sure fire safety standards in social housing are adequate, or properly funding the NHS, or any of those kind of things. So it's good to see that even quite a surprising election result hasn't really kick-started the ruling party into competence. But there we go. So as you can see down by Victoria Gate, this is where all the coach parties have come in and all the school kids and what have you. So I am running away from there as fast as I can. Technically the gardens have only just opened. As a friend of Q, you can actually get in from 8 o'clock in the morning, which is amazing. I've never actually achieved it. Maybe one day I will. So yeah, I'm heading off into a corner to find a bit of peace and quiet, have my breakfast, read my board papers and enjoy being outside. Welcome to the Boardwalk Nature Trail. I'm heading for my hut. There's a bird hide which allows you to see people on the nature trail, which is slightly odd. This corner is always the most quiet. I've seen two people who are clearly here just to get out of the way of everyone else, but that's it so far. There's quite a lot of squirrels. Hut located. This is my breakfast spot for today. It's pretty nice. So I've spent about an hour and 15 minutes reading very heavy board papers. Heavy because it's our financial statement for the year, and it's 85 pages long. And then there's an audit report off the back of it, which is another 30 pages long. And it's a lot of information to take in. Now some of it, obviously, I know, and it's just written down. But a lot of it, it's understanding the nuances. So my brain hurts a little, so I'm going to go and do something that requires very little thought, which is film a play. So I'm heading off to New Wimbledon Theatre via Vauxhall, which is a slightly random round trip. Actually also via Queen Charlotte's Cottage, which is at the end of this road / path. So in just under 7 hours time, I'm going to be right back here on the corner there where that awnings are. That's Treviso, so we're going for dinner tonight. I am buying because I lost the bet as to when our wedding photos will arrive, but I'm still looking very much forward to it. So as you can see, I'm back by the Thames. I've just come out of Mortlake Station, finished filming French people teaching. It's actually a play to teach French to kids, which, as I mentioned, I've filmed before, but it's actually come along quite a long way since I saw it last. Anyway, I'm done, which means I'm back home nearly. So I'm gonna go and have a sit down and freshen up and then get ready to go out, as I mentioned. Treviso, which is the restaurant just down Kew Road, which is going out this evening. But I've been lugging kit around all afternoon, and frankly I've been on the same train 4 times now in different directions, so I'm quite looking forward to just getting home and sitting down for a little bit. Hello, it's me from the future. Thank you very much for watching this video, which I'm actually currently editing right now down here. Slightly surreal. But yes, I very much appreciate you watching. If you want to be informed of when there's a new video, the easiest way to do that is click the subscribe button and the little bell next to it that gives you a notification. And I hope you'll join me again next week, because as you can see, I will be back in the gardens and I will actually be here, there and everywhere. But my promise is that the video will be a little bit shorter next week.
Toby.